We got jobs numbers out this morning showing Canada's economy losing 25,000 jobs, and yet unemployment didn't go up, it went down. Let's try to understand what's going on there with our economics reporter, Peter Armstrong. How are you?
Good morning, David.
These are, in many ways, not surprising numbers, and yet explain to us how it is that we lose jobs, but the unemployment rate goes down.
So the mechanics there are interesting in that one bright light that, sure, the unemployment rate went down. Isn't that great news? Well, it only went down because fewer people are looking for work.
Right.
So if you've got fewer people in the labor force, you've got a smaller unemployment rate. So it speaks to just the deep and profound uncertainty that has been prevalent in the Canadian jobs market going back to the inauguration of Donald Trump a little bit more than a year ago. The interesting thing here is that we had seen a bit of an uptick, right? We had added like 200,000 jobs going back to the end of August. And everybody was saying, well, at some point, it's got to give back. At some point, we've got to sort of reverse to the mean here. And we've seen that. Though, I mean, it's only 25,000 jobs. It's obviously not great news if you're one of them.
Yep.
But like when we're looking at the broad scope of the economy, we lost a bunch of part-time jobs, but added full-time jobs. So there's like all these little mixes in there, and it speaks to just how mixed the story of the Canadian economy is right now, and how it's done a very good job of adjusting to the trade war and the tariffs and all the uncertainty, much better than I think a lot of people had expected it to. But it's still this weight on the economy. You look at the manufacturing sector, lost another 28,000 jobs. It's really hard out there. And it's really hard for workers. It's hard for employers trying to figure out how to navigate this. Like so much of your market, regardless of almost what industry you're in, takes place in the United States. And whether you're currently getting hit by tariffs or not, you're worried about them. And you're worried about the policy changing on the drop of a dime in the United States. And so you can understand where that uncertainty comes from and what this kind of does to employers, employees, policymakers right across the country.
Got to talk to you about something that's happened in Ontario, and that is about this deal that had been made between two companies to build electric vehicle batteries here. There's been movement there.
Okay, this is actually a little complicated. Stellantis and LG had worked together to build this factory, and they were going to make car batteries there. They did. Stellantis is having a bit of a rough day, but certainly a rough couple of years now. They've decided to get mostly out of the EV products business, and in doing so, they've written down, the results just came out, they've written down like $26 billion
that's
in
huge.
These kinds of, it's massive, these kinds of investments. They're going to pay out something like $17 billion over 4 years to get out of these EV products as they adjust to say they're going to make stuff more aligned with what consumers want. Now, the interesting thing here is in that plant in Windsor, a South Korean company has come in and bought up the other half. They built it with Stellantis. So they've come in to sort of gobble up the rest of it. They're making home batteries now. But it speaks to all of these deals that have been going on. Mark Carney signed an MOU with South Korea just, 10 days ago to buy subs and get some kind of investment in manufacturing here in Ontario. So is this part of that?
Or at least consider buying subs anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Senior business reporter Peter Armstrong. Always good to have you. Thanks very much.